welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, for what is a very, very important video, because this Vitor Roque situation, it is spiraling out of control right now, because last night things exploded into life when his agent publicly spoke there about the treatment that he's receiving from the club, from Xavi, and he has provided there a very big update on Roque's future and what might happen this summer. We're going to be discussing all of those quotes and the full situation here. And there's also another big transfer development that's happened over the past 24 hours involving a player who's already out on loan, which I'm not really sure is going to help the mood at Barca right now. We're going to be talking about that too, so let's do it. Now, I do want to say a very big thank you indeed here to Camille for the fantastic support on the super thanks, as well Raymond from Ghana, who is back yet again, and Vishal too, a consistent supporter here who's trying to understand right now what is going through Barca's mind when it comes to Vitor Roque. And well, let me just set the scene first of all here, because let's just remember, and we always have to do this, that Barca signed Vitor Roque on a deal there worth 31 million euros guaranteed. That's a fixed amount there on the deal. 5 million is to be paid every 6 months until we reach the full amount, but there's also 30 million worth of potential variables in that deal that are valid until 2031, which means the deal could reach 61 million euros. And with the easily attainable variables in there, you are looking at least a 40 million euro deal for Roque. So how on earth have we gotten here, and so quickly? How on earth have we even allowed this as a club to happen? You've barely even seen this young man. You brought him in for huge money, and now you're trying to get rid of him? Because indeed, just a short while ago, Barca made the decision as a club internally that they wanted to send Vitor Roque out on loan next season. Now, Xavi has made it very, very clear he doesn't count on Roque, he doesn't trust Roque, he has barely played him during his time at the club, and the club are willing here to back Xavi, to basically go ahead with the plans that he has for the summer. So they've agreed there to try to loan out Roque. And we've spoken before about the power struggle between Xavi and Deco. Remember here that Roque was very much a Deco-approved signing. He was very much the man behind it there. But regardless, what the club also know is that Roque and his agent, they do not want to leave the club on loan. They cannot believe that they're actually being asked about that. They cannot believe this situation right now, and they don't want to go out on loan because it's very risky as a big Barcelona player to go out on loan. You don't know how that loan is going to go. You don't know what kind of conditions you're going to come back into, and you can understand why they would be very, very hesitant to go and do that. However, Barca weren't going to stop there. Xavi as well was not going to stop there, because what we're actually seeing now at the club is an attempt to force Roque out, to make him change his mind about leaving the club on loan. And what we've seen over the past few games is Roque frozen out. He has not appeared for a single minute in the last 4 games at Barcelona. And I mean, before, Roque was barely playing under Xavi. Even before all of this started to come to a head, he wasn't even in the team. But now, to not even be on the field for 1 minute, it's a joke. It is absolutely unbelievable. And you just think about it, guys. Over the years at Barca here, we have desperately wanted players to leave there. Players who are on massive wages, who are really hurting the club financially. And yet, I've never actually seen a player frozen out like this before. Even with Dembele, for example, his contract was expiring. Barca wanted him to leave. He stabbed the club in the back, basically, in that January transfer window. Even then, Xavi refused not to play him. And yet here with Roque, we are actively freezing out a player that we've just brought in, that we've barely seen, and who is costing the club enormous money. And I think this is clearly why something right now, something recently here, it's just snapped now in the Vitor Roque camp. Something there is not right with what is happening right now. Vitor Roque does not understand why Barca signed him in the first place right now. Because remember, there was serious competition to sign Roque, but Roque actually chose to join Barca immediately. Straight after he heard about their interest, he rejected all other offers. He avoided a bidding war, and he only wanted to sign here. But Roque also doesn't understand, why did Barca bring him in early? You know, he could have come in the summer. If they never had any intention of playing him, why take him away from Brazil, where he was playing regularly, where he was actually growing and improving there as a player? Why bring him in now, only for him to sit on the bench? And I think now to hear that the club want to loan him out, I think that's the final straw here, with Roque and his agent very confused by this situation, and I think very hurt as well by what has been going on, and I think we all feel that, and I think we all perfectly understand those feelings right now, and that is why Andre Cury, Vitor Roque's agent, he had to come out, he had to address what we were hearing in the media, and he had to get a few things off his chest, because Roque's agent said, "We chose Barca because Vitor loves the club," and just imagine that we had other proposals that gave us twice as much, but nobody understands why Xavi doesn't play him, and he doesn't even speak to the boy. He said it's not right. We will speak to the club very soon. We have to address this situation. So Roque's agent there saying that Vitor wanted to be here, that he really does love the club, but why is Xavi not playing him? And he says there that Xavi is not even talking to Vitor Roque. What is that about? The kid was 18, just turned 19 years old. We're not even talking to him. We're not even addressing his situation at the club. And Roque's agent said point blank there, we do not want a loan. He said if the club decides that he cannot stay, then he'll have to be sold. He said there are many teams interested in Vitor Roque, and if the club does not give him space in the squad, then we will have to look for a solution. Either he stays or he is transferred. And I have to be honest, guys, I know here that we're all Barcelona fans, we all want what's best for the club, but I can back Vitor Roque in this situation, because honestly, if the club want to loan him out, if they don't want him, if they want to cast him aside so soon here into the move, then just sell him then, because it's clear already you don't have faith, you don't have confidence in him, so if you don't want him at the club, then just sell him, get rid of him, and that is certainly the stance there that I think I can agree with Vitor Roque's agent taking, because he went on to say, and again this is a sentiment that many of us Barcelona fans can share, he said everybody saw against PSG that Barca needed another goal and that they could have benefited by having another number 9, and he said it's been clear in so many games that the team needed fresh legs up front in order to press. But he said if Xavi doesn't see it that way, and it's almost as though here, everybody on the outside looking in, you can see what the team needs, what is going wrong, what is happening at the club, and yet from the inside, why are these things not being seen? Why are these things not being recognised? And Andre Cury said Xavi gave minutes to Fermin Lopez, to Pau Bassi, to Lamine Yamal, but not to Vitor Roque. He said, I don't understand why. Xavi says that Vitor Roque must gain his trust, but I tell Xavi that that trust must be shown to him by the boss, which is Xavi himself. And he went on to say, you must help the player by giving him good enough minutes, not bad ones. He said it would be nice if Roque played full matches with the team. When you play 300 minutes in the whole season, it's so difficult to gain confidence. So it's the coach who must show confidence to an important asset of the club. I think that's really important here. Roque is an asset. When you sign a player there for 30, 40, 50 million euros, especially in our financial situation, there is a duty there to get the best out of that player, to make sure here that we are protecting our investment. And that does not mean casting him aside so soon. That does not mean leaving him on the bench to rot. That is not good at all for the club. And I think yet again, it's another really valid comparison there. Andre Cury, an expert on Brazilian players there, actually brought up the example of Vinicius Jr. He said, just look what happened with Vinny at Real Madrid, for example. It took him 2.5 years to play where he is now. But in Barcelona, after just 2 months, there's already a mess here, and people want to hurt the situation instead of helping it. And that is certainly something that we look at there, what Real Madrid are doing, the way that they've actually dealt with the big signings they've had coming in from Brazil, the time, the patience they've given him. What is happening here at Barcelona? I just cannot get my head around, guys, any of what we're seeing right here. The amount of money that we've spent, and to see this happen, to see this unfold before our eyes, it makes no sense. What we are seeing with Roque, there's no way to excuse it. There's no way to say here, oh, well, he's not good enough. We haven't seen him. We don't know how good he even is yet. We can't make a conclusion. And to just leave him on the bench, to just cast him aside like this, that needs explaining. That needs a real explanation. And I don't think there is one from inside of the club. I truly don't there. So can you understand what Andre Cury, Vitor Roque's agent, is saying? Can you actually resonate with a lot of these quotes here? And do you agree with Roque's stance that if the club do want to loan him out, if they do want to cast him aside here after this season, do you agree that they should sell him then? If they want to loan him out, then fine. Sell me. But here's the thing, guys, and this for me right now is where the concern reaches breaking point, because now I want to talk to you about Eric Garcia. Now, you knew that this was coming, but this for me is a perfect example of what we are seeing right now at Barca, because apparently the decision has been made. Garcia is coming back. Xavi wants Eric Garcia in his squad for next season, and actually, Xavi never wanted Eric Garcia to leave the club. He did not want him to go back in the summer. The club took the decision out of his hands for FFP reasons, and if Xavi had his way, Garcia would have been playing throughout this season, and if that had happened, we may never have discovered and seen the emergence of Pau Cubarsí. And I just think this deal right here, he's been out on loan at Girona. He's had a good loan there, a decent loan. He looks more at home, more comfortable there in a lower pressured club like Girona. And this to me looks like the perfect opportunity to sell. Girona want to keep him. They're going to have likely Champions League money coming in. If there was ever a great time to go and cash in, it's now. But we never seem to sell players at the right time. We never seem to sell there when that interest is just peaking. And right now, we've got so many centre-backs, so much quality there. Do we really need Eric Garcia? Is that the kind of player that's going to take us forward? And this is what concerns me. With Xavi staying, this is the mindset, this is the mentality that really does concern me. Where's the change coming from? How do we expect to change when we're hearing we're going to renew Roberto, we're going to bring Garcia back? We are just keeping the same faces in and around the club. We're keeping everybody nice and happy. Everything's rosy, all here together. We're doing the same things. We're making the same mistakes with the same players. Where's the change? We must change. And that comes from the top. Something has to give. So once again here, guys, right here today, I apologise, I really do. I'm sorry that we have to keep coming here and venting our frustration, but I just can't help it right now. You know, I just cannot believe so much of what we're hearing, so much of what we're seeing on a daily basis here with Barca. It's driving me mad. It's just hard to get your head around. It really, really is. And I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. First of all, those big quotes on Vitor Roque. Let me know everything there that you have to respond to that. And also let me know as well your thoughts on Eric Garcia, on his potential return to the club. I will catch you soon. There will be lots more to discuss and coming up. Thank you indeed for your great support, though, as always. I can always count on you, and I thank you guys for that. But until next time, as always, Visca, El Barça.